And thank you, commissioners, for being here. Commissioner Netfield, great to see you here again. Thank you for being in my district and actually you met my son at one point, and I appreciate that. I just wanted to circle back to the residential placements. It's been brought up here a few times. According to my notes, the past few years there's been a reduction in certified residential opportunities, about 8% reduction actually, and day opportunities 16% reduction is what I have. And at the same time, the population has grown and the number of children being served has grown as well, leaving many families unable to access needed services or students sometimes even being placed out of state. In addition to this, it's led to more students overstaying their residential school after they've aged out. And I'm going through this right now, so I've heard from constituents on this issue, but also I'm going through it firsthand. My son is aging out, and we've been in the process of trying to find a place for the past couple of years, and there's very few opportunities, and the ones that they have offered have been in New York City or a long distance away, which would essentially take away his family life, which is problematic in a number of ways. So my question is, and I think part of that is due to the staffing crisis and the inadequate rates. My question is, will OPWDD commit additional resources for residential schools to keep students in the state and near their families, and to keep the individuals in near their families once they are out of that system and looking for a placement as well, and funding to address the workforce crisis that's a root cause of all this?
Okay, so that's a lot to unpack. We are, so for the residential schools, just in terms of the funding, we partner with the state education department. So the educational component of a residential school placement is paid for by the student's home district. And for the educational piece, the residential piece is paid for by OPWDD. When a student ages out, OPWDD does incur the cost of that, of their living expenses until they are able to move into a certified setting within the OPWDD system. We're doing a number of things to try to move the needle for students who have graduated and are remaining on a residential school campus. I mentioned earlier in testimony about the comprehensive adult transitional homes that we're opening within our state-operated programs, recognizing that the transition from a residential school into community-based living can be very difficult for students to manage, and they're two very different settings. And oftentimes, we see that can be a block for students being able to find an adult opportunity. I think you hit the nail on the head as well when you were talking about your own experience, that all of our opportunities are voluntary, right? There are no placements made or people assigned to vacancies. So we go through a very intentional process of understanding the needs. We can have more conversation offline about the other things that we're doing.